What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the debut album from the band Omnizide, entitled Metal Holocaust. This is released on Carnal Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Sweden, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very gritty, bleak, and old-school style of death metal. This project was originally formed back in the mid-1990s. It went under the name Belzen and was formed by two people whom would later go on to form two very well-known bands within the Swedish black metal scene, Avsky and Kraft, respectively. This band formed in the 90s, split after a couple of years. Of course, they went on to form those two respective bands, and then later on into the 2000s, they decided to reform this project, but change the name to Omnizide. And I believe in 2011, they came out with a 7-inch entitled Pleasure from Death. And those two respective tracks definitely showed you what kind of attention to detail and hard work got put into this respective album. What potential there could be for a full-length album. And now, a few years later, we have the very first full-length from Omnizide entitled Death Metal Holocaust. I believe they added a few new band members to give things a more well-rounded approach, and now here we are with this album. It's 10 tracks, and it clocks in at around 39 minutes in length, and pretty much this is an album that definitely abides by what the album is called. It's called Death Metal Holocaust. And this is a definitely exhilarating listening experience. I mean, if you're a fan of the old school Swedish death metal styles, I mean, if you're into, let's say, maybe Dismember or Pre-Entombed, like Nihilist, you'll find something to enjoy with this album. And I think it's really cool that people who are currently involved within Swedish black metal take their own kind of take on death metal and make something sound incredibly special here with this album. The guitar work on here is pretty much what you would come to expect from any kind of Swedish death metal release if you're a fan of that kind of stuff. The riff work, the toning, the tremolo riffs, the leads, they just sound incredible. I mean, you hear that on the opening track, Rotting Flesh Parade, and then on tracks like The Eternally Damned and Nuclear Strike, you just get some really fantastic guitar riff work going on here. I'm really, really impressed with the way the guitars sound on here. They feel old school, they feel very natural, and definitely are a testament to what this band's style and approach is. I think it's really awesome. The bass tone on here sounds very good. It definitely feels comfortable within this album's production and mixing. It's not too overbearing or too powerful. It fits in just right, and it definitely serves as a nice little balance, a nice bit of balance to this album's length. Moving on to the drums, I think the drums sound fantastic here. I love when I listen to an old school death metal release and the drums feel very natural. And I definitely get that with this album. Just the way the fills are, the D beats. That seems to be the norm when it comes to Swedish death metal. You have a little bit of that D beat-esque type of quality within the drums and the patterns. And you pick that up very well here with the drums here. Everything feels paced perfectly. I love the style. I love the just the movement of this album. It has a very infectious pace going for it, and I'm really, really impressed with that. And moving on to the vocals, I mentioned that this band features one of the members from Kraft, and of course that is Michael. He is the frontman of Kraft, and he is doing the vocals here. His vocals are so amazing here. Just the way his voice sounds, the evil, the high-pitched kind of shrieks going on in a more deeper kind of way. Just his vocal delivery on this album sounds incredible. I love what he does here. He really commands your attention, and he definitely brings brings what he would normally bring with craft onto this project. I think it sounds awesome. And it's a cool little bonus that this album includes the 2 tracks that are included on the 7-inch Pleasure from Death. The 2 tracks, Pleasure from Death and Desecration Art, are included on here, and I think they sound really good. To those who haven't really gotten too aware of what Omnizide have sounded like before, you'll get to hear that with the last 2 tracks of this album. So overall, if you're a fan of Swedish death metal, Omnizide deliver a very crushing debut. The album title definitely serves it justice, and this is a really awesome listen. Definitely major props to this band for making this album possible. Hopefully there will be more stuff from this band in due time. So if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Rotting Flesh Parade, No Remorse, The Eternally Damned, Damnatio ad Bestias, and Nuclear Strike. So I'm going to leave you a link in the description box to Decibel Magazine, where you can currently stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you feel it's worth being deemed purchasable or not. You can buy it directly from Carnal Records, and you can also contact the band to buy a copy. I believe those are the best ways you can get a hold of it. Not really too sure if there will be any other areas of distribution for this album, but it's definitely going to be something worth owning. So again, the album is Death Metal Holocaust by Omnizide. This is released on Carnal Records. Definitely support this band, and I'm going to give this a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Really awesome debut. Support Omnizide. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Army Ho out.